Welcome to the presentation of Lethbridge School Division's three-year capital plan for the years 2024 to 2025 to 2026-2027. School divisions are required to submit a three-year capital plan by April 1st each year. The capital plan is reviewed by Alberta Education to assess the needs for new schools to address enrollment pressures, for modernization projects that will modernize learning environments for functionality and programming, improve building conditions, address enrollment pressures, and address health and safety concerns. School divisions are required to rank their projects by priority. Alberta Education then takes a look at those business plans and reviews them and determines which projects they're going to fund in the next provincial budget. Essentially, our capital plan makes the business case for the new schools and modernizations that Lethbridge School Division needs. So let's learn a little bit about our school facilities in Lethbridge School Division. Lethbridge School Division has 13 elementary, 4 middle, and 4 high schools that we look after. This does not include the 3 Christian school facilities that are owned and operated by their societies. If you take a look at this chart, you can see that 57% of our schools are over 50 years old. If you look at the chart to the right that shows the decade of school opening, you'll see in 1950 and 1960, it was a big decade for constructing schools in Lethbridge School Division. And after that, we saw little drips and drabs for each decade. And we currently, of course, have one that's in progress. So how do we know we need a new school? There are a number of drivers that make the case for whether a new school is needed in an area of a city or whether or not Alberta Education will fund that school for a school division. One of the most significant drivers for a new school is the pace of development within a city. The development influences enrollment growth in our city. Although there is development in all areas of Lethbridge, West Lethbridge has seen significant growth in the last several years. As the future land use map, as provided by the City of Lethbridge, illustrates, West Lethbridge has the most significant area of future growth into the future. One of the most significant drivers of enrollment growth is the pace of housing development within the city. We've uncovered some data related to housing starts between 2021 and 2022 that shows there were 816 new houses in Lethbridge in that time period. That's a 27.7% increase over 2021. What's interesting to note is there is 523 multifamily housings, or an increase of 222% of multifamily dwellings from the 2021 year. On the chart to the right is a pictorial of the 2021 Canada Census of new housing starts by elementary school boundary from the 2016 to 2021 period, which has been provided by Berger Demographics. If you look at the top left, the bright red area, that is the Mike Mountain Horse catchment, with over 822 new housing starts. There's no wonder this is why we have a new school being built in Gary Station. Next, you'll see the next highest area is in the Dr. Proby catchment area with almost 500. We have Dr. Plaxton as well as the Coalbanks area, around 400 new housing starts in that 2016 to 2021 period. When preparing our three-year capital plan, Lethbridge School Division takes a look at the demographic data that is available to us. One of the pieces of information we use is City of Lethbridge population projections. You can see from this chart that from 2019 to 2023, our latest census, that the City of Lethbridge had average growth of 1.25% per year. From 2023 to 2030, it's projected that the City of Lethbridge will grow by 1.18% per year. Now turning to our student enrollment projections, we use software called Berger Demographics. Berger Demographics looks at latest census data, looks at birth rates, looks at migration and immigration trends, and projects our enrollment based on how many students that Lethbridge School Division enrolls in the City of Lethbridge. You can see from this chart that from 2022 to 2023, we had growth of 2.7%. In 2023 to 2024, we had a 2.6% increase in our enrollment. We're projecting a 1.7% increase for the next school year for 2024-2025. And then we have a very conservative number of just less than 1% per year growth. That growth that's provided by Berger Demographics really doesn't take into account the pace of our housing development as well as new housing starts, as that is considered local knowledge and that is not available to our software. But given that we think that the city of Lethbridge might grow by 1.18% per year, we feel that our enrollment numbers are fairly accurate, if not a bit on the conservative side for our estimates. The chart on this slide shows student enrollment by school type. It shows actual enrollments for 2022 and 2023 school years and shows projected enrollments for the 2024 through 2026 school years in our capital plan. As you can see from this chart, high schools will experience the greatest growth in that capital plan period of 8%, followed by middle schools at 6%, elementary schools at 3%. Our Christian schools will grow about 2% over the projection period, and we expect our Victoria Park High School and outreach programs to remain relatively flat. This infographic shows enrollment growth by city sector for 2022-23 actual enrollment and projections through the capital plan period from 2024 to 2026. It is projected that enrollment will grow by 8% from 2024 to 2026. Enrollment growth will be greatest in the south side of the city of Lethbridge at about 13%. The reason for the significant growth in enrollment at South Lethbridge is due in part to the number of students that are transported daily to South Lethbridge from West Lethbridge to attend high school due to growth and capacity pressures at the only high school in West Lethbridge, which is Chinook High School. West Lethbridge will be experiencing growth of over 6% and North Lethbridge of 4% in the enrollment projection period. I'd like to now provide some perspective on our recent new school builds and how long it took from the time they were requested in the capital plan to receive approval and then be opened. Starting with Coalbanks Elementary, it was first requested in the capital plan in 2006. It was approved in 2014 and it opened in August 2017. Senator Joyce Fairburn was first requested in 2008, was approved in 2015, and opened in August 2018. Dr. Robert Plaxton Elementary was also requested in 2008. It received planning funds in 2017 and then construction funding in 2018, and we opened in August of 2021. Our newest school, West Lethbridge Elementary School in Gary Station, was first requested in 2008 as well, received approval in 2021, and is scheduled for opening in September 2025. And so as you can see, there's quite a gap between the time we start requesting a new school to the time that is actually approved in the capital plan. So if first you don't succeed, you try again. As mentioned previously, we have a new school under construction in West Lethbridge, and that is a new K-5 school in the community of Gary Station. That school will open in September 2025. Now that school doesn't have a name yet, but the process is underway for the Board of Trustees to select a name for the new school. Stay tuned. I'd now like to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about how new construction projects and modernizations are funded through the province of Alberta. Once we submit our 3-year capital plan to the province of Alberta, they will review that plan, they will ask us questions, and then they will review that project in relation to other projects across the province and determine which projects have the highest priority for support in any budget year. And of course, that also is dependent on the funding. Last year, the province of Alberta implemented a 4-stage process to receive funding that gives school boards assurance that their projects will be funded. In 2021, the Galbraith modernization actually received pre-planning funds, and we started down the path to work on the modernization of Galbraith Elementary School. In budget 2023, last year, we received planning funding, putting us at stage 2 of the stage 4 process. And in February of this year, we received the announcement that Galbraith Modernization has now proceeded to step 3 for design funding. And that gives us the ability to start planning the schematic design, getting all the pre-tender documents ready so that we will be ready when we receive approval next year to go to full construction. I'd now like to take the opportunity to discuss the new school requests that are in our 3-year capital plan. The number 1 request is a new K-5 elementary school that would house 900 students in the south end of West Lethbridge. A new elementary school is needed to take any future growth in the south end of West Lethbridge, that would be south of Coalbanks Elementary School and west of Dr. Proby School. We have growth and capacity concerns at both Coalbanks as well as Dr. Proby, with the schools each having 13 modular classrooms, plus 2 more that are being added for Coalbanks Elementary School. With all the planned future growth, a new elementary school is needed in the south end of West Lethbridge, and this new capital request has been on the capital plan since 2008. Elementary schools in West Lethbridge are not the only schools that are experiencing growth and capacity concerns. Therefore, we are requesting a new grade 9 to 12 high school that will accommodate 1,500 students in West Lethbridge. Chinook High School is the only school in West Lethbridge and has a current capacity of 86% after the addition of 3 modular classrooms. We are also currently transporting a number of students from West Lethbridge over to the south side to Lethbridge Collegiate Institute because of the growth and capacity concerns that we are already experiencing. The map to the right is the West Lethbridge map of future growth, shows the areas in yellow that are developing, as well as the green areas, which are future growth areas. Those future growth areas could yield an estimated number of 1,200 additional high school students. Therefore, it is necessary to request an additional high school for West Lethbridge. In this year's capital plan, we have a new type of section that we've added to our plan called Beyond 2027. So these are requests that are beyond our 3-year capital plan that we know that we need to pay attention to and start considering. This is giving notice to Alberta Education that we have a need that is coming up in the near future. So beyond 2027, a new construction request would be for a new K-5 elementary school that's in North Lethbridge. We'd be looking around the Black Wolf community for that school. There is currently a school site there, and we know that as there is growth in North Lethbridge, we're going to see growth and capacity concerns start to develop at Park Meadows Elementary School. And so we believe a new school is due for North Lethbridge. Particularly, Park Meadows Elementary School was the last school built in North Lethbridge in 1980 and is currently 43 years old, and it also requires a modernization. So to recap our new construction requests in the capital plan through this infographic, we've requested a new West Lethbridge Elementary School for 900 students. That's number 1. Number 2, a West Lethbridge High School, 1,500 students. And for number 3, and beyond 2027, a new school in North Lethbridge. The estimated costs of our requests are approximately $121 million. So now I'd like to turn to the school modernization requests in our 3-year capital plan. There are 9 schools requested for modernization in the capital plan period, and 5 more that we're requesting beyond 2027. When we look at modernizations, the drivers that we need to consider for modernization: number 1, health and safety; 2, building condition; 3, the ability to deliver programs; the utilization of the school; and the infrastructure performance. Our number 1 request for modernization is our oldest school at 112 years old, and that is Galbraith Elementary. Galbraith Elementary, as we've demonstrated earlier, is on the path for modernization and just received approval to go to design funding. That is step 3 of 4 of moving to full construction, and so we know that this school will be modernized in the future, and we're pretty excited about that. As this infographic illustrates, we have 14 schools that we are requesting modernizations for. That are 9 in the 3-year capital planning period, and there are 5 that we're bringing to the attention of Alberta Education that we will need beyond 2027. These modernizations include Galbraith Elementary, Mike Mountain Horse Elementary, Park Meadows Elementary, Nicholas Sharon Elementary, the Lethbridge Collegiate Institute, Dr. Gerald B. Proby, Victoria Park High School, Senator Buchanan Elementary, and Westminster Elementary. Beyond 2027, we're looking for an addition at Gilbert Patterson Middle School, Fleetwood Bodden Elementary modernization, Ecole Agnes Davidson modernization, Lakeview Elementary, and an addition at GS Lakey Middle School due to growth. Galbraith and LCI are considered major modernizations due to the nature and significant scope of the work. In fact, for Lethbridge Collegiate Institute, should we receive a new school in West Lethbridge and are able to move students back to West Lethbridge, we may even be more efficient and effective to do a replacement school rather than a modernization. Our other schools that are on the plan are considered minor modernization, as upgrades have been performed over the last few years through infrastructure maintenance renewal and capital maintenance renewal initiatives. I would now like to provide a little more detail about the modernizations that have been requested within the 3-year capital plan period. Our number 1 modernization is the modernization of Galbraith Elementary School. We anticipate this modernization will cost approximately $23 million. This school needs learning spaces re-envisioned and complete upgrades to all mechanical, electrical, and ventilation infrastructure. Mike Mountain Horse Elementary School currently has 21 modular classrooms, 10 of which are at the end of useful life and should be removed. With the opening of the new school in Gary Station that will capture some of the enrollment from Mike Mountain Horse, there is an opportunity to remove these classrooms and revision the learning space for the school. The school is also in need of mechanical and electrical upgrades due to its age. Skipping to number 5 on our list, the Lethbridge Collegiate Institute, that requires a major modernization due to the scope and size and configuration of the school. The school has had 3 additions in its lifetime, and it's in very good condition. However, it's a maze of buildings and learning spaces that currently do not meet the contemporary learning needs of our high school students. In the last 3 years, approximately $5 million has been spent at LCI to upgrade building infrastructure such as mechanical, electrical, and ventilation. The school really just needs re-envisioning learning spaces that work for our high school students, as well as a new gymnasium. The other schools on the list need upgrades to mechanical, electrical, and ventilation, except for Senator Buchanan and Westminster that had the mini modernizations and upgrades completed a few years ago. These schools, however, need elevators for accessibility, and there's a need for a new school gym. This chart shows that beyond 2027, we are requesting 5 modernizations or additions to some of the schools. Gilbert Patterson Middle School as well as GS Lakey Middle School will require modernizations and additions due to some of the growth that they're experiencing in the sectors of the city. This concludes our presentation on Lethbridge School Division's 3-year capital plan for the 2024-25 to 26-27 school years. If you'd like to learn more information, see details on demographics, enrollment projections, a little bit about all our schools, learn a little bit about growth and planning in Lethbridge School Division, as well as the details on our new capital requests as well as our modernizations, please see our detailed 3-year capital plan that is on the division website.